It's the final episode of Season 1 of our Aston Villa Beta Save, and we are going to be going to Europe next year. Yes, looking at the league table, it might not look like that, because we could, in theory, finish in 8th place if things go a little bit against the run of play against Burnley, and we drop down to 8th place. But the good news is, we are in a Europa Conference League final, which if we win that one, we'll be going into Europe. And the other good bit of news is actually England top the coefficient table. The nation coefficient place race. That's what they top, which means if they win that one, I say top, they're actually second. Italy are top, England are in second. If they finish in second place, it does mean that basically we'll get 5 teams in England into the Champions League, and then we'll get basically 8th place in the league table. We'll actually get into the Europa Conference League. So, if we win the Europa Conference League today, we'll be in the Europa League, I think. If we win the if we lose the Europa Conference League but still finish 8th, we'll be in the Europa Conference League next season. So, all in all, I think we're going to Europe. But because it is not guaranteed that we are going to finish in 7th or even 6th place just yet, we are going to have to go pretty strong against Burnley, a team who are on the verge of relegation. It's going to be Casteels in goal, Goldson, Konsa, Mings and Luke Dean in defence. We've got Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Sanka in midfield, Diaby, Ramsey and Zaniolo leading the lines. I've just seen a lot of our players are wanted. Saudi Arabia, Tottenham, Leeds and Tottenham, Saudi Arabia and Tottenham, and Leeds. So Leeds, Tottenham and Saudi Arabia are looking after our players. What's going on? Newcastle have also got a bit of an interest in Torres. Anyway, we're going to deal with that in the summer. We've got to beat Burnley away from home in the Claret and Blue derby. It's not a thing, but I've decided it is a thing. And then we'll finish 6th place in the table if all goes our way. We have been in pretty decent form, I think, for our Villa side. Obviously, Burnley there, you can see they've lost 4 of their last 5, but they have just won 1. We have won 3 of our last 5, and that loss there was against Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-final in the last episode. So, we are in theory the better team, and by in theory, looking at the league table, we are the better team. A win here will relegate Burnley. Sorry, Burnley fans. I'm not sure who... It's West Ham, I think. We're battling against West Ham and somebody else. I'm not sure who they're playing. West Ham have Bournemouth. Is it Spurs who we're battling against? It might be Spurs, you know. We've dropped down to 8th place. It is us coming forward with the ball. Luke Dean in towards the penalty spot. Is he going to go for goal himself? He does. Trafford palms it onto the bar. We win a corner. We have also dropped down to 8th place because I assume somebody else is winning. Douglas Luiz with the corner for us towards the middle. Trafford comes out, easily claims that one. It's Fulham. Fulham are the other team. I knew it was somebody from London. So it's West Ham, Fulham and Aston Villa battling for 6th, 7th and 8th. And it looks like West Ham have taken the lead in their match. Luke Dean to Tyrone Mings, getting a very rare start for us, by the way, because Mings obviously missed most of the season through injury. Next year, he's going to be quite an important player, I hope. It is Ezri Konsa with the ball to Douglas Luiz. Sanka goes long towards Ramsey. It's not the best pass. Tyrone Mings, though, intercepts and gets this attack going once again. Zaniolo will be returning back to Galatasaray at the end of the season, so we might need to find a new striker to replace him because he's our number 1 striker. And Boubacar Kamara gets his 9th goal of the season, kind of out of nowhere, let's be honest. 20 minutes on the clock. We take the lead against Burnley. We have basically relegated them at this point. And I'm thinking we're going to go up to 7th if this is how the results are currently going. Newcastle beating Fulham 2-0. So they will likely drop down to 8th. We might go to 6th. We do go to 6th. And I think if we go 6th, we get into the Europa League normal, like the actual Europa League, not the Europa Conference League. 5 minutes left of the first half. Trafford's big kick for Burnley over the halfway line. We're not going to get there. Is that Mike Trezor? It's not Mike Trezor, is it? Didn't he used to play for like Peterborough or somebody like that? It's a save from the goalkeeper. We are going to see the corner as well then. Roberts is the man to go over and take it. Roberts' cross comes in towards the back post. Connor Goldson flicks the head on. Trezor keeps it in play. Jack Cork. How is Jack Cork still playing football at a very high level? I do like Jack Cork, by the way, but he's like 36, isn't he? Another corner for Villa just before half-time. Casteels comes out, claims that one. Good grab from the goalkeeper. Is he Belgian? I think he's Belgian. We signed him from Wolfsburg, but I think he's a Belgian goalkeeper. Ezri Konsa has this now on the right. Connor Goldson on the ground to Kamara, the goal scorer. It's now Diaby going away from goal. Not really what we want you to be doing, buddy. Is this going to be a highlight, or is this just going to run the clock down for 2 whole minutes? Douglas Luiz to Kamara. I'd love it to be a second goal for us. That would be nice. I don't want Burnley to equalise for very obvious reasons. We want to win a football match. Oh my word, what have we done there? Castiles' effort is... I say effort. Castiles actually managed to block the effort there, and it has gone wide for a corner. Taylor's the man to go over to take the corner. Left-footed towards Jack Cork at the back post. Mings is there. Two former Southampton players. Two former... I want to say Bournemouth. Did Jack Cork play for Bournemouth? I don't think he did he? Burnley are absolutely peppering us with these corners at the moment. Roberts takes this one. Castiles comes out, claims that one. Good. That's what we like to see. Just take your time, 30 seconds, half-time whistle goes. There we go. We go in with the lead. However, Burnley have been very good for the last maybe 10 minutes of that half. Straight into the second half, we are not doing any changes, although Zaniolo on a 6.5. I'm starting to think it's not Callum Wilson's fault, okay? I'm starting to think it might be the formation. Maybe when we play against teams who play two defensive midfielders, that's when our striker just gets completely isolated, because at the moment, Zaniolo's doing absolutely nothing. Mings wins the header, gets it to Zaniolo, needs some options. Ramsey's one of them on the left. 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe white shirts in the middle. Ramsey tries to get some space, plays it on the ground to Sanket. Now Luca Dean, is he going to go for goal? Luca Dean does, makes it 2-0, gets his second goal of the season. Why are fullbacks getting in the penalty area? I've just realised Luca Dean scored as many league goals as Callum Wilson has for us. Luca Dean's a left-back and has also missed a fair chunk of the season through injury. Right, let's do some subs then. Let's bring on Kellyman to get some minutes, partially because Zaniolo's not playing very well at all. Alcaraz can come on for Sanket. We're looking at fitness because bear in mind we do have a Europa Conference League final to play in about a week, I assume. So I don't want too many players looking too tired. Do we bring off the goal scorer? We do bring off the goal scorer as well. Let's keep one sub in reserve, ready for probably Connor Goldson because he's playing poorly. Burnley have another corner by the looks of it. It is number 71 taking it. It is Mike Trésor towards the back post, and it is just gone wide of Castiles' post. Stays 2-0, 77 minutes on the clock. If it stays this way, pretty sure we're finishing 6th because Fulham are losing 2-1 against Newcastle. If I scroll over as well, or maybe not, we'll have another highlight. But I think West Ham, because they started behind us in the league table before kickoff, doesn't really matter what they do if we win our game. Long range effort from Ramsey goes over the bar. Can we even see what West Ham are doing? They're 3-0 up against Bournemouth, so West Ham have won anyway. But I think we are 1 point clear of them at the moment. 2 minutes of injury time to play. Kamara goes for a little run, finds Kellyman. On the ground to Leon Bailey, two of the subs combining. Plenty of shirts in the middle if you want to try and get to one of them. Moreno to Alcaraz, to Ramsey, to Kellyman, to Alcaraz. He's got his third goal of the season. It is 3-0 for Aston Villa. It is 3 points in the bag. It is 6th place in the league, which to me is massive. And all you people who said, why did I buy Connor Goldson? We finished 6th place in the league and we didn't really play Matty Cash because Connor Goldson was a better footballer. Maybe. Fulham have just equalised against Newcastle. Fulham have equalised against Newcastle with probably the last kick of the ball. I don't know whether that means they've gone back ahead of us. I hope it isn't. I really hope we've not just dropped down to 7th. We have not dropped down to 7th because of our goal difference. Okay, so Fulham getting that equaliser pushed them up into 7th place as opposed to down in 8th place where they would have been. So, I mean, we're in Europe. I'm pretty sure we're in the Europa League now. So it says we've qualified for the Europa Conference League. However, because of what I showed you earlier, we're going to get a 5th Champions League team in theory into the Champions League through the league. So this should be a Europa League spot for us next year. And Man City have won the league because Brighton drew with Arsenal, Man City win the league on goal difference. Ouch, Arsenal fans. A couple of days later, and we've now got some news saying that we've qualified for the Europa League. Okay, I don't know what's happened in order for us to qualify for the Europa League, but there we are. That's now a thing. So 2 teams have gone into the Europa League, 1 into the Europa Conference. We can probably have a look here, actually, can't we? So, league phase, winner of the FA Cup, which I imagine, well, Man United we know are in the final, and it's probably one of the others. It was Man United and Liverpool in the final, Man United winning 2-1, which is why we've got Europa League. I mean, Man United are going to get Champions League anyway, so cool, fair enough. We've made it over to Greece then for the Europa Conference League final against Fiorentina. Obviously, last year in real life, Fiorentina lost to West Ham, obviously, in the Europa Conference League final. I don't think they're going to be best pleased if they get beaten by another English team that wear claret and blue. Just putting it out there, I feel like they might be very annoyed, and I'm sorry, Burnley might get some collateral from this as well. In goal then it is going to be Castiles. Batesman will be our right back today because Connor Goldson has picked up a knock, and I'm basically deciding to not play Matty Cash because I want to sell him in the summer. Konsa, Torres and Luke Dean in defence. Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Sanka in midfield. Diaby, Zaniolo and Callum Wilson leading the line. He has returned from his injury, and we are risking this in a cup final. Callum Wilson, buddy, I need you to put in a performance today. I really need you to put in a performance. You've been out injured. You've missed a bit of football. It's a cup final. I want you to shine. If you shine next year, you might still be playing for us. If you're bad in this match, I think we might sell you in the summer, which is going to cost us a lot of money because I imagine we're not getting £25 million for him. 2 minutes on the clock and already we've got a highlight possibly going our way. Konsa to Connor Bateman. It is off towards that right-hand side for Diaby. Bateman's there, goes forward instead to Kamara. Bateman collects it. 16 years of age, playing in a European final. It's a stupid thing to do, but it's a game. It's not real life. Zaniolo on the left-hand side. Plays it on the ground to Sanka. In the middle, we've got Callum Wilson. If he can find him, it's towards Diaby. Plays it across to Kamara. What a save that is from Milenkovic-Savic. That's ridiculous. We're going to see the corner as well then. Who's gone over to take it? It is Luke Dean. The left back, left-footed towards the front post, maybe? Luke Dean's going to get himself another chance, or maybe not. It's looking like this is going to be quite a highlight-filled game at the moment. 10.5 minutes on the clock. Fiorentina coming forward. Milenkovic with the ball off towards their right-hand side. Luke Dean comes out, chests it and intercepts it. Lovely bit of football. Kamara goes off towards the left-hand side. Luke Dean to Zaniolo, now playing as a winger, obviously, because Callum Wilson has returned from his spell on the sidelines and his spell of just being bad at football. It's a header clear, by the way. Fiorentina now breaking down the left. Bateman is keeping up with Bracalo. Connor Bateman, do the business, my friend. He's not done the business. Its cross comes in. Torres has done the business. That's perfectly fine. This is an end-to-end highlight, isn't it? This is an end-to-end highlight. Callum Wilson tries to break the offside trap. Zaniolo off on that left-hand side. There's three in the middle. Kamara's one of them. And Boubacar Kamara makes it 1-0 in a European final against Fiorentina. We take the lead and we might actually win a trophy. If we win this, we don't get Champions League, do we? That's not a thing. We get Europa League, right? We definitely get Europa League. Looking at the match stats, we are keeping Fiorentina very quiet. They've literally not had a single shot. We've only had 4, but they've had absolutely 0. Callum Wilson to Zaniolo. Douglas Luiz doesn't quite get there. Torres to Kamara. Finds Diaby. A bit of space. And Moussa Diaby doubles the lead. Or does he? Was he offside? I don't think he was. This is where he was absolutely miles offside. I'm pretty sure he was off. He's miles offside, isn't he? He's miles off. He's onside. I'm pretty sure that's counting. My head went on a little journey then, didn't it? Wasn't quite sure if he was on, if he was off. So from this Kamara pass, he's offside. Is he offside? I don't know. Is it going to count? It does count. It hasn't counted. It has counted. What's gone on there? Final 5 minutes then of the first half. We are looking good. Fiorentina have done very, very little. Coyote with a throw to Nico. Crosses it in towards Bracalo. And Connor Bateman couldn't do anything about that one because he's only 16. That's my excuse, not because he's not very good at football at the moment. Bracalo makes it 2-1. And it stays 2-1 as we go into the half-time break. Literally, they had one shot and scored it. We've had a few, scored twice, obviously. You've had a lot of shots. I'm happy. Keep it up. I'm going to say to Callum, buddy, pump fist. Pump fist. You weren't that bad. You can still improve. I'm determined to make Callum Wilson come good. And it might be completely futile. He's on a 6.7, which isn't awful. Very little's happening in the second half. We do have a corner after an hour. Diaby's collected it. Crosses it in. Torres is there. Off the underside of the bar. Cons is going to hopefully keep this one alive. He doesn't quite manage it. Connor Bateman, back to Sanka. Is this highlight going to carry on? Or is it just going to stop any second? Kamara. Everyone, absolutely everyone is in Fiorentina's half at the moment. Diaby on that right-hand side towards Kamara. On the ground to Callum Wilson. And Callum Wilson has scored a goal on camera in a cup final. Callum Wilson has scored a goal, everybody. He's actually bloody done it. And not to mention the fact that he scored a goal, it's now 3-1 in the cup final. We've got 20-odd minutes left to play, and that is it. And we have a 3-1 lead. We're going to do a couple of changes. Fitness change for Diaby, which is not really what I want to be doing, but we're going to do it because he's getting very tired, basically. Do we take off Bateman? I think we do Bateman for Matty Cash. Probably last appearance for Matty Cash in an Aston Villa shirt. Sankat as well, also coming off for Alcaraz. So we've still got a couple more subs to do, 15 minutes to play. A fourth goal, would definitely put this tie to bed. There's not really much time left, to be honest. We are just watching the clock tick away. 4, 3, 2 minutes left to play. The full-time whistle is seconds, absolutely seconds away. And we are champions of Europe, the third tier of Europe. We're champions of the Europa Conference League. West Ham have won it. Aston Villa have won it. Fiorentina have lost twice in the final in 2 years. They can't be too pleased with themselves, can they? But I can be very pleased with this team. And I'm also very pleased that Callum Wilson scored a goal for us in a cup final. We are champions. Europa Conference League champions, but champions nonetheless. Drink it in. Celebrate with your family and friends. It's the European Championships over the summer for most of you are actually off, going to play some more football in a couple of weeks' time. The rest of you, Matty Cash, unfortunately, you're probably going to get sold, although he's also off to the European Championships as well. I have to say, wasn't expecting it. Honestly, was not expecting to be able to win the Europa Conference League at the start of this save. I was thinking literally we're going to be finishing mid-table. That was literally goal of season 1 was finish mid-table. We got to an FA Cup semi-final, we won the Europa Conference League and finished 6th. I think we've overachieved, according to what I thought. Anyway, we picked up £4.28 million. Here's a bunch of players that will be getting a medal. Is Ollie Watkins on the list? Mate, he should be. Surely Watkins should be on this list. That's a bit unfair, because he definitely played in the Europa League for us. We keep getting given loads of money as well. So we got 4.28 for winning it, 1.34 for television revenue, another £1 million for coefficient money, and then £4.5 million for winning. Oh no, we've paid that to the teams. Okay, so all of that money that's come in, we've literally just given it all back out again. Fair enough. Plans for next season. I will not go through this because we've got a lot of new players joining. In fact, I think there are 10 new players joining. We've got 2 goalkeepers. You can see one of them there, Nikola Kavlina. We'll have a look at him very quickly. He's a 21-year-old Croatian goalkeeper. He's come in as our third choice goalkeeper, but he's pretty good, isn't he? He's coming in on a free transfer as well. But we've got, I think it is 10 players joining on permanent deals. Some of them are youngsters. Some of them are going to be kind of squad players. There's a couple as well that might actually be first team names. They're all pretty cheap or free at the moment because we obviously don't have our budgets for next season, but we're going to go forward, find out what they are. Right then, £48.02 million, £3 million wage budget as well, which is good. Okay, that's an improvement on last season. We've got about, nearly 300,000 per week to spend next season. £48 million transfer budget. I am going to be doing a fair amount of business over the summer to try and shift on some of the deadwood, is what I'm going to call it. So, yeah, it does include Matty Cash. I don't play him. Connor Goldson's our number 1 right back, and then Bateman's our number 2, okay? I'm sorry, Matty. It's nothing against you in real life, honestly. And we are going to wrap up this episode and this season then with the end of season review, the new arrivals. We obviously brought in a lot, but most of these weren't actually ours. Diaby is signing of the season. With 13 goals and 15 assists. That's mad. That is absolutely nuts. I think he's actually become the top goal scorer as well for the team because of the last 2 matches. So, I mean, that's very good. Casteels, for £3.4 million, did a job. When Martinez got injured, he did a very good job. Torres, very, very good player for us. I'd like to point out, Connor Goldson, 3 assists and 2 goals from right back. I'll have that. That's actually not terrible at all. Scott McTominay didn't really play, did he? Alcaraz, 3 goals, 3 assists. Not awful. One for the future still as well, only 21. Sanket probably didn't need him, let's be honest. Probably didn't need him, but I think he's good. Maybe next season we'll see him come into his own. Lenglet, we didn't play. And Callum Wilson, he's Callum Wilson, isn't he? He's Callum Wilson. What do we do with Callum Wilson? Confirmation there, obviously finishing 6th place in the table, getting Europa League football, winning the Europa Conference League, FA Cup semi-final, and something happened in that competition that we won't talk about. Biggest win was the 6-0 win against HJK in the Europa Conference League round. We obviously matched to remember their 3-1 win against Newcastle just between Christmas and New Year, and goal of the season was Diaby. This was actually 2nd place goal of the season for the entire league as well. Although, can I view it from here? I'd love to be able to view it from here. I have to go that way. Okay. I can't remember whether this game was on camera or not, but this was the third goal for us in a 3-3 draw. Diaby just goes for a lovely run, tucks it into the bottom corner. I mean, it wasn't. Was it good? I mean, it was a good goal, obviously, but it wasn't spectacular. Finances, there's numbers. There you go. How did we line up? Ollie Watkins got 20. He did not score 20 and 18. That's what he did for Al Ittihad. What did he do for us? He got 11 and 21. I genuinely don't think that's a terrible starting 11. Konsa and McGinn, I'm not too sold on. Goldson also, not too sold on either. Obviously, we don't have Watkins anymore. That is Callum Wilson. I'm genuinely going to pull my hair out over what to do with Callum Wilson. He'll probably be here for episode 1 of season 2, but after that, I have no idea. I mean, there's a lot's just happened there. A lot of record breakers. Most goals by a player in a match, a hat-trick for Watkins. I mean, that doesn't sound right, does it? Or these just seem kind of like we've just broken every record. Fans player of the season going to Martinez, which is fair enough. Yeah, we'll take it, I guess. He actually won quite a lot of things, so most man of the match is highest average rating as well. Martinez has probably kept us as high in the table as we are. And then the whole manager timeline stuff, which, to be honest, it doesn't really do anything for me, does it? Doesn't really do anything for me at all. But that's nice. We did win. We won the Europa Conference League. We got a nice little gold badge. So I think that is going to do it for Season 1 of this Aston Villa save. We will return for Season 2 very, very shortly. And I'm hoping Season 2, we're probably going to be, when it comes to the league table, similar position. I don't think we're going to be good enough to break into the top 4, but we do have 40-odd million pounds to spend next season. If we shift on some players as well, that budget might go up to around 100 million pounds, depending on how much Saudi money comes our way. And I think there will be a fair amount that comes our way. We might be able to do a decent amount of strengthening for this Villa side. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll be back for Season 2 with Aston Villa.